Hello, Hoosier fans, Hoosier haters, and everyone in between. This is the Crimson Coliseum podcast, and well, we can't win them all. Uh, it happens. Where
Yeah.
Indiana finally, well, not finally, gets their first loss of the season, 15-38 against the number two ranked Ohio State Buckeyes in the shoe, in which that was a game. That was one of the
Game of
games
all
of all
time.
time.
Yeah.
Start out for Indiana passing wise. You can go with Indiana stats. I'll go with
Yeah.
Ohio State stats.
It was a game of all time. Rourke had 8 for 18, 68 yards and a fumble, and he lost it. The rushing was pretty solid though. Tyson Lawton had 15 carries, 79 yards, and two touchdowns. Justice Elson had 17 carries, 62 yards, a fumble, but it was recovered by my goat, Mike Kadick. And then
You see the picture of Mike Kadick with the piccolos.
yes, yes, I did. That
Let's
was
go. Mike
awesome.
Kadick is a man of the people.
The man, the receiving team for the 8 passes that were completed did pretty solid. Three reception or Elijah Surratt, 3 receptions, 40 yards. Miles Price, 1 reception, 13 yards. Tyson Lawton, 2 receptions, 9 yards, and then Keyshawn Williams, 2 receptions, 6 yards. On 8 passes, considering that's decent. I mean, like we're not gonna sugarcoat it. This was bad. Like
Bad
so,
offensively.
yeah,
Really
bad
bad
offensively.
offensively.
And then defensively, I mean, the numbers weren't like amazing as usual, but like it was a decent performance. Aiden Fisher had 4 tackles and 3 solo tackles. CJ West had 3 tackles, 1 solo tackle, and a tackle for loss. Jalen Walker, who I predicted last show, my GOAT, 8 tackles, 4 solo tackles, a tackle for loss, and an interception. Linnell Carr had 7 tackles, 4 solo tackles, and then Sean Asbury had 7 tackles and 3 solo tackles.
Yeah, it wasn't great in most
Yeah.
cases. But with Ohio State, it's just ho hum for them.
I mean, there's a reason they're number 2 team in the country, man.
Yeah,
They're still assholes, though.
they are. They are.
I
Will
think.
Howard, 22 of 26, 201 yards, two touchdowns, and interception. Uh, Obligatory fuck Will Howard. Just is what it
Yeah,
is.
I wrote that.
Travion Henderson, 9 carries, 68 yards and a touchdown. Keyshawn Judkins, 14 carries, 36 yards. And then, well, like we kept the running game in check for the most part.
Well, the thing is, like, their stats have a bit more because they just like kept getting more downs, and we just kept getting like three and outs.
Yes, it's just
So
like it wasn't great. Emeka
these,
Egbuka, yeah,
sorry.
yeah. We'll get to the team stats. We'll talk about all that stuff. Emeka Egbuka, 7 catches, 80 yards and a touchdown. Carnell Tate, 4 catches, 68 yards. And well, Indiana's still doing the trend of holding their a team's best receiver in check. Jeremiah Smith, 3 catches, 34 yards. I mean, shout out D'Angelo Pons. He had a tough challenge and he stepped up to the task.
Yeah.
Um, Defensively for them, Cody Simon, 10 tackles, 4 solo, 2.5 sacks, 2.5 tackles for loss. Jack Sawyer, 4 tackles, 2 solo, a sack and a half, and a tackle, 1.5 tackles for loss. JT Tuimuau, he recorded 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, as well as also 5 tackles.
Oh, did I miss
Uh,
that?
yeah, you missed the
My
five.
bad.
You're good. You're good. Uh, Sonny Styles, 8 tackles, 3 solo, 1 tackle for loss. Caleb Downs, 5 tackles, 2 solo, and 1 punt return touchdown. And then also Ty Hamilton had 4 tackles and a fumble recovery. You can go with the team stats for Indiana.
Yeah, we had 58 plays, 18 passing, and 40 rushing, 153 yards in total, 85 rushing, 68 passing, a 42.8% on third down, 6 of 14, and then 1 of 2 on fourth down, and we only had 3 penalties for 15 yards.
And then, like,
And
just going with that third down, I think you're going to talk about third down.
we just got like three and out a lot, which would kill the drives. And if we had some good running momentum, like looking at the numbers right now, we ran a lot. And like that's fine when two of our guys do really well. But if we're gonna get some of those chunk plays, we should have passed more. We'll talk about it a bit more, but I thought the play calling was too conservative. So
Yeah, and I think a part of the problem was just how aggressive Ohio State was with their blitz packages. I
Yeah,
think
that
that's a big part of the problem.
and that comes back to the O line, which I mean, it
Was
is
not
what it
great.
is. Yeah, it wasn't
And
good.
like credit to Ohio State, like
Yeah,
since the Oregon game, I think they've had 27 sacks.
yeah, they kept. The, I love
Like they
Gus Johnson and Joel Clapp, but they kept like dick riding them a little bit in that game.
yeah, it's Ohio State. I'm not going to be too shocked by that. Uh, but with the third downs, I think the first drive they were 4 for 4 on third downs, and then they just did not. They only got 2 of 10 the rest of the way. Like
Yeah,
and going to Ohio State, they only had 51 plays, 22 passing, 29 rushing for 316 yards, 201 passing, 115 rushing. And that's the second lowest amount of yards Ohio State has had this season behind the Penn State game, where I'll just look at this real fast. Um, where they only scored 13 points and
yeah,
team stats. One second, I'm gonna look at team stats.
yeah. Sorry,
They
I'm
had
pulling up
yeah,
PFF.
they had 358. So this might have been much lower than I thought. Um, unless there was another game where they had lower. Because it said the Penn State game. It might have been Nebraska. Yeah, yeah, it was Nebraska where they had 285 yards against Nebraska.
Mm,
So, and Nebraska has a good defense.
yeah,
Hey, shout out Nebraska! You're finally bowl eligible.
that was
You're
crazy, dude.
you're
I
finally bowl eligible.
we need people.
The teams we beat to win.
Yeah, exactly. So I was pretty pissed when UCLA didn't win yesterday, but
Ah, it
like.
sucks. But it's also USC. Like UCLA does not win those games.
No, no, it was really close, actually. I watched the highlights this morning. It was a really
Yeah.
close game. So yeah,
We need more teams to have home versus home jerseys when they're different colors.
it was a cool coloration. You know, and it was like red
Yeah.
versus blue, and I was like, holy crap, that's awesome.
I mean, it's kind of hard to do in the Big Ten whenever nearly half of your teams is
It's
red,
red.
but
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of hard to do. But anyways,
Uh,
316 yards, 4 of 11 on third downs, which is good third down defense. 4 of 11,
hmm
2 of 3 on fourth downs, which sucks. Oh God, that freaking third and 35 going into a
That
uh,
I was so mad. I mean, like
but
it
it's
happens, but
it's
like
Ohio State. If
I
anyone's gonna
know
do it, it's them. Uh, 8 for 58 on penalties, which is something that we called out there, and they also got 5 sacks, which.
uh,
But another point, we actually had the ball more than slightly more, but yeah, let's just get into the pros and cons. You could go first with what you said, what you have.
do you want the ones I specifically typed or just read them all?
Just read ones that you think is like read the ones that you typed.
Yeah, so the final score was not representative of how good the defense's performance was because two of them, one was a garbage time touchdown, one was that punt return, and the other one was the Rourke bum. Wait, no, and the last one was
No,
the
it was
James
the
Evans
James
fumble.
Evans botch. It was
Yeah.
James Evans botch.
Um. So defense actually held their own, I think, even though the score is not indicative of that. The first quarter offense was good, obviously. The run game also throughout the game was pretty good. It was, better and like it's what kept us kind of alive in the second and third quarter. And then let's see. And the cons, special teams was ass. And then I didn't think the play calling was good. I know we were playing really conservative, and it just felt like they didn't trust Rourke to throw it, which did not make me happy. So I mean, like, just throw the damn ball. So yeah,
One thing I whenever so for the first quarter, basically the first half, I was at a local bowling alley in I think it's Tuscaloosa, and I was practicing with some of my players on the bowling team for the place I coach at because uh they got singles state Monday
nice.
next Monday they have it next Monday, so we just get some work done with them. And right before I left, I overheard. right before I went over to play some air hockey to before I left, I heard the weather conditions have just gotten much worse over just out of nowhere. The next play was that fumble. What not the fumble was that James
The
Evans botch where he just dropped the ball and like just the weather getting bad. I think that had a lot of effect on him. He didn't expect the weather to get that bad and it just took his eye off the ball for a second, which it absolutely sucks. But we got to give James Evans some slack here. He has been a 4-year player here at Indiana, and through the highs and lows, he's been one of our more consistent players. Like
yeah,
even though he led the punt return touchdown, he still had he still had a solid day.
I think it's
If
the I think that's the only bad thing I've ever seen him do in the 4 years he's been here. So that's okay, honestly.
he definitely struggled his freshman year, he definitely struggled, but he still had 5 punts for 214 yards. Average was 42.8 yards, a long of 52, and one was inside the 20.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So and like uh his average is around 43.6 over 28 punts, and as long as a 58. So
Damn.
I can't
All right,
remember
what
what game
about
that
your
was.
pros and cons?
My pros, red zone defense. They have
That was good.
stopped Ohio State more than any other team has combined in the red zone.
Oh,
Two
really?
red zone
Huh.
stops. Yeah. Ohio State only had one red zone stop in the entire season heading up to this game. Indiana stopped them twice.
Nice.
Then it was the pick. I think
That was
they
a
had
good
a
one.
fumble earlier in the season.
Okay.
And in red zone offense, we scored on both of our red zone trips. So red zone wise, we were pretty good. Um,
That's where the good news ends.
that's where the good news. Well, pass defense. It's not our. It's that's definitely where we got burned, and it objectively is our weakest spot. I want to see where we are in some stats right now. We're still first in points. We're now second in point differential.
That's fine.
Fifth in offensive yards. I think seventh in. Wait, no, that's pass. Seventh in passing yards. Second in total yards allowed. So, and our rushing yards per game is 76.1. So, um, still, I think the litmus test for the run defense, I think they passed.
Yeah, I
Uh,
agree.
definitely. Um,
Which is something we talked about last time we were worried about when we talked about Josh Payton. Now he was like, "Oh yeah, they haven't played a real run offense."
yeah,
So I mean, now we have. So and it's good to see that we held them.
yeah.
We didn't
It's
like
just
obviously shut them down, but no one
no one I
ran
like,
the whole field. You know?
and to give Indiana some slack here, I don't think there is a team in this country. I don't care if you think it's. I don't care if it's in Athens, Tuscaloosa, Oxford, Columbia, Clemson, because I think that's where they're played at.
Uh,
There's not a team in this country, not even in South Bend, that can go to Ohio State and win. That can go to Columbus and win in the shoe this
except
year.
for Michigan, but they needed Connor Stallions, and Connor Stallions has evaporated. So no one can anymore.
I don't think even with how good Ohio State is playing since their bye week, I don't even think that Michigan team is gonna beat Ohio State.
I
Just
don't know.
th
I think Sharon. I. This is copium. I think Sharon Moore is going to go in there and he's going to make it competitive after how they just murdered Northwestern.
they easily could. Like they may have just turned over a new corner, and if Ohio State loses, we're gonna laugh hysterically.
Yes, I was telling my other football chat we're like huge Michigan fans now.
Yeah. Honestly, when we get to the Indiana preview, we're gonna talk about
You
because
mean Purdue?
I've IU Purdue preview.
Oh, okay,
I've got a guest on for that lined up and everything,
nice.
and we got um we're gonna I'm gonna have like a keys to like watch like the watch list, who we should be rooting for.
Yeah, so that we get in as far as we can.
Yeah. Um.
You're on the pros and cons.
Yeah. The SEC, my friends. The SEC has given us a gift, a glorious gift. It's called cannibalism.
Yeah.
It's
Do we
called.
want to finish the pros and cons? Then we'll get into the SEC.
I think we did finish the pros and cons. We talked about what
Oh,
we
okay.
needed to. All right. Okay. So I'll go over the games. I'll go over the scores and we can discuss this. So
Oh, they were so good.
in the hilarity that is the SEC, because I was watching most of the endings of these games. The ending of the Ole Miss Florida and Texas A&M Auburn game,
Hmm.
but Kentucky kept it at least decently close in Texas. I think Quinn Ewers has an injury too.
Yeah, he's getting his ankle looked at before the Texas A&M game. So yeah,
Massachusetts scored 21 against Georgia, which
that was crazy.
should
Like
never happen.
Georgia scored 59 and won, obviously, but like I think the spread was 45 and a half or something. So that's
Yeah, they
bonkers
cover.
that.
Yeah, they cover the spread. Uh,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
LSU squeaked by Vanderbilt, but that's not the funny ones. The funny ones, Kalen DeBoer. You ruined the chance, unless Indiana goes to the Citrus Bowl. You ruined the chance to face your old team. You
He
ruined it,
he
Kalen.
doesn't have that Indiana talent now, man.
He doesn't have Michael Penix anymore to
He
carry
doesn't
him.
have Michael Penix. Yeah,
Even then,
they
Jalen Milroe, how do you have three interceptions?
that was dude, I couldn't believe that. I saw okay, so for a while the score was 3-3 and then it turned into like 10-3 and then 17-3 and I think they went to halftime like 17-3 or 10-3 or something.
Yeah,
And then the game ends 24-3 and I was just like it felt like a fever dream of a game. Like it didn't even
bruh,
happen.
bruh.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh
Florida in Gainesville gets another win. Uh, Florida has beaten both LSU and Ole Miss in back-to-back games.
I actually
Uh,
picked Florida to win this one in the college pick'em thing because there's this factor about the swamp, which is just I can't quantify it. It's so weird
yeah,
where you can just win games because of the swamp. It's so weird.
and the absolute most hectic game on this day. Auburn going into the third quarter with a 28-7 lead, proceeding to blow said lead and win in overtime.
I gotta tell you though, I know they lost, they won, and it was like a heart attack of a win. It was so entertaining though.
Oh, it was so entertaining.
Oh, dude. Because I thought the on the last play that A&M player had it, and then he
Yeah,
didn't. I
he just
was like,
dropped
oh!
it.
And
And
then
all Indiana fans are getting flashbacks to the Akron game. And then the Big 12 decided
oh
to just decide, hey, we're only going to have one team.
yeah, so Arizona State beat BYU 28-23 at Arizona State. That one was always going to be close, but the fact that Arizona State actually pulled away with it when BYU chucked a Hail Mary and was caught it and was this close, they were like 4 yards away from
All the
con
fan, I kind of hoped BYU would get that in for a touchdown and win, just to see
really
the fans got on the field with the
with like
second
a
too
second
early.
left. That was so funny.
That's what I'm saying. Like imagine the hilarity if BYU wins and they're just on the field like what?
Yeah. And then the terrorist organization known as Kansas Football has now murdered a third ranked team. So what is that? Colorado. Actually, let me pull it up. So they beat
The
Colorado in Kansas 37-21. They
beat
beaten
BYU.
Iowa State, BYU, and now Colorado. So that that's crazy. If they beat Baylor, they're going bowling, which is crazy because they started the season one, two, like before the Iowa State game, they started 2-1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2-6. That's so crazy, dude.
And Kansas is now the first team in NCAA football history to have a losing record and win three straight games
Hmm.
against ranked opponents.
And then This wasn't an upset, but it was close. Iowa State got like a 30-second touchdown and barely beat Utah at Utah 31-28. And I think that's all the Big 12
Yeah.
chaos.
Yeah, and then going over the ACC real fast.
Oh yeah, good.
Nothing too crazy with the ACC. It's just the team I am concerned about that could steal Indiana's spot is in this ACC group. And it's not SMU, it's not Miami, it's Clemson.
Oh, Clemson, yeah.
Clemson is right
They
on our heels with a game against South Carolina next.
The problem is if they beat South Carolina, they'll probably get an at-large, maybe. Like they're gonna try and I think you're right. They'll try to find a reason to kick us out and keep Clemson in, especially because it's a name brand. But if they lose to South Carolina, will South Carolina and I even hate having to debate like a three-loss team, whatever. If they lose to South Carolina, will the committee try and find a way to throw us out and get South Carolina in? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I need to see. Okay, so where are that? 'Cause the AP poll is way different than
Oh, then
yeah. But
yeah,
right now the AP poll has Clemson 12, South Carolina 16. Coaches poll has Clemson 12, South Carolina 14.
I see.
Once the college football playoff poll comes out, that's going to tell a lot. And I'm kind of happy with this AP and college poll, the AP and coaches poll, that
Yeah.
we dropped less than Alabama and Ole Miss,
Yeah.
even if it's by a point,
Let me see the games
because we
coming up
should,
this week.
because I
S-
believe
So,
we got to be rooting. I know we have to be rooting against a an opponent that is very not well liked amongst Indiana fans for some trauma,
what are
some
you
two
talking about?
some 2-3 trauma. We need Syracuse to win, I
Since when did
believe.
we hate Syracuse?
2-3 zone, my friend. Tom Crean's 2-3 zone issues.
Okay, let's just go over real quick who we have to root for. So, obviously, any number versus no number is a big deal. But, like, for example, Oklahoma State and Colorado, we don't really need that to happen because Colorado's, like, kind of out. But, like, for the upper numbers, we want Mississippi State to win. We want Georgia Tech to win. But in terms of games that might actually happen, Michigan, we're Michigan fans, we're Vanderbilt fans, we're South Carolina fans. We are Maryland fans. We're big Maryland fans this week.
Oh
Um,
God, that's
I know, I
I
know.
feel so bad for Maryland because
Dude, they're 1-7 in conference play. I
and they have
couldn't believe that.
the best passing attack in the entire country in the
I,
entire conference.
I know. It's crazy. Oh man.
But
And then
USC has the second best passing attack, and they're also have I think they're at 6 wins now.
I was about to say, we're also USC fans. We're big Auburn fans. We're Syracuse fans. We're Cal fans. Oh yeah, Cal. I
Getting ready
love
to be
Cal
beat by the
Twitter.
liberal agenda.
Oh yeah. Let's see. We are
I mean,
IU fans, obviously.
yes. Washington would be a big help.
hmm Okay, here's my question. Do I think we want Texas to win, right?
Yes, we want
That's what I
Texas
thought.
to win.
Yeah,
I
because
think what helps us out is a Texas Georgia playoff because either if Georgia loses, there are 3 losses, they'll probably be behind us. Or if Texas loses, both of their losses are to Georgia and they're gonna fall.
yeah,
They may fall even behind us because of they've only have one faced one real opponent and they've lost both times to them.
yeah. And then
So,
we're also Houston fans. So big
go
ones,
Cougs.
yeah, go Cougs. Cougs against Cougs.
Uh,
Big one is essentially any like 8 through 12 teams. So like
yes.
Houston.
Va Vandy at home is gonna be a fun matchup for Tennessee.
Oh, no, it's at Vandy.
Yeah, it's at Vandy. That's what I'm saying. Vandy
Oh,
at
okay.
yeah, in Nashville.
So
Uh,
Vandy, South Carolina, Auburn, Syracuse, and Houston. Those are the big ones.
God, I want Georgia Tech to win so bad, though. I kind of want Georgia Tech to win. Actually, I want to see what happens here real fast
I
because
do
I have.
too, actually, because they've been playing well this year.
So let's go SEC
It's a
because
Friday game.
I have the website right now. So let's say Texas wins and Vandy wins. There's no Georgia game. Uh,
Also,
what?
like, this is pretty self-explanatory, but every
Oh, it's
team,
not technically SEC. SEC. Oh. Uh.
it's a
Oh.
non-con.
It's non-conference because Georgia Tech's ACC. So that doesn't matter.
Uh,
So if Texas,
Oh,
so they're locked in no matter what. So Georgia's locked in no matter what. It would just be if Georgia loses to Georgia Tech and then they lose to Texas in the SEC championship game, they could be out with a nine
mm,
and four with a 9-4 record. But if Texas win, it would be Texas Georgia. If Texas, basically Texas A&M is going to decide who's in the SEC championship game
okay.
because no matter what, it's going to be Georgia and the winner of Texas A&M Texas. But yeah, that's
Uh,
all the
Football stuff.
main football stuff. I think offensive players of the game, offensively, Tyson Lawton, defensively, Jalen Walker, special
Hmm.
teams. I'm going to give it to Radicic because he was able to make that extra point. Kind of wish he did more, but um, we already know all about the recruiting stuff. Byron Baldwin's back at IU. Fantastic. You can go suck it, Dio.
Oh yeah, and then Julian Lewis went to Colorado, which Alex and I
Makes
called
sense.
it like 5 minutes before it actually happened. And then right after, I was like, I didn't even like call it because I thought it was so obvious.
Yeah. And some other good news related to IU that just happened today. IU
Just to
soccer's going
just
to
to
the
like
10th
help you.
straight Sweet 16. You want to talk about Battle for Atlantis, my friend?
Yeah, so the women's team played yesterday and then they played today. And they played Columbia yesterday. And weirdly enough, their game against unranked Columbia was closer than their game today against ranked Baylor. But that's because yesterday it was a bit hard to find some shots. And today, Shay just turned it on. Bro, she scored 34 points. My goat. Oh my God. And now they're going to play tomorrow against the winner in North Carolina Villanova, which I wonder if that game, I don't think it's over yet, but I can see if
It's still on right now.
let me see what the
Um,
score is though.
oh damn, UCLA is kicking South Carolina's ass right
I
now.
saw that. Uh UNC's up by 15 to Villanova, 20 like 3 minutes left in the third. So it's probably going to be UNC, so
Yeah, another ranked team.
yeah, but they're not playing well right now at all.
Yeah, and IU, I don't think we've seen the potential of IU women's basketball. We
We've
haven't.
s- we've seen glimpses. Like the Stanford game was a glimpse, and this right now is a glimpse of what Shea can truly do for us. She's been struggling a bit, but I'm glad she finally had a game where she just like
Yeah.
what I mean?
But outside of Shea, 37% from the field and 30% from three is not great.
Yeah,
Uh,
Yarden couldn't find anything today. It was crazy.
yikes. But shout out Chloe Moore McNeil, 7 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists.
No, this
Uh,
was really just the Shea game, honestly,
it was.
because everyone
But
else was mid or not that great.
one thing that I've seen that Indiana is doing extremely well that could be very, very beneficial, because I got to look at the stats to confirm this. Free throw shooting.
Yeah,
Something
Baylor
that
Baylor lost because they had a 61.5. They missed 10 free throws. We only missed four. So out of our 30, I should say. So it's not like we missed 4 out of 5 or something. So
yeah, we were 26 of 30. They were 16 of we made as many free throws as they attempted. And we are first in the Big Ten in free throw percentage at 82%.
huge.
and second in attempts behind Michigan State, which good God, 178 attempts.
Their enemies are foul merchants, dude. Oh my goodness.
Oh golly. But still,
So
gotta
that's some.
get you gotta get the free field goal and free throw shooting up, but I mean, I really can't say we are foul merchant because Shea was 12 of 13 for the free throw line.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it's just
mean,
when you're on, you're on.
yeah. If they can win this battle for Atlantis, I think this will give them like a huge morale boost heading into like a little break before they come back in December,
Yeah.
you know?
But also in that last game, shout out Lily Meister in the Columbia game,
She had 20, right?
20 and 8, 20 and
Yeah,
8.
that's crazy.
I don't think we're gonna have the same efficiency as Mackenzie Holmes, but if we could have some consistency, like a 16, 17 points per game player in Lily in Big Ten play.
I think they're starting to find their rhythm, and that's what these games are. That's why they're so like varied. You know what I mean? Some days are really high, some days are really low, but the consistency needs to be a bit better. But I think it'll
Yes.
get there.
And they also debuted some new black jersey, which I want it now. Shut up and take my
I
money.
I mentioned this when Alex and I were writing the script for this. Anytime I see a black jersey, I admit the women's like basketball team black jersey is very nice. The script goes well with it. Anytime I see a black jersey, I automatically think back to that Akron game last year,
Yeah.
and it's
Eighth quarter team. Eighth quarter team.
dude, oh my God.
Uh,
Oh,
we're we are still tortured souls, even though IU football's doing great.
yeah, I got one more thing, then we can wrap. I just want to like for the four people that watch this, I just want to tell you that like no matter what, even though we kind of got a little shit on this week, it's still really good compared to what happened, the past few years. A bunch
Yeah.
of my friends were complaining, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, you can complain. Obviously, we want them to play better, but at the same time, you got to realize I would take this 1,000,000% over anything we had the past 3 years. You know what I mean? So,
Yes. Over last year,
yeah,
like I would have rather played Ohio State. I would rather have swapped Ohio State and Michigan's like home and road locations. Maybe we could have beaten Michigan on the road. Maybe. But we would have had a better chance against Ohio State.
yeah,
But
yeah.
the next game is with that team up north.
Notre Dame, no,
Notre Dame. They play
no,
USC. They play another Big
yeah,
Ten team. And they actually play on the road this time.
yeah,
They're not playing
uh,
in like SoFi.
yeah. Yeah, we play
They
for the old Oaken Bucket at night. It's gonna get
I
to be
think
like
I think this is the
18
first
degrees.
it's the first night game for the old Oaken Bucket since 1997.
I have no clue.
I think it's what I saw. It was like 1997 was the last time it was at night.
That's
Um,
crazy.
yeah. Uh, Under the Lights on FS1. I kind of wish it was on NBC, but
I'm cool with whatever.
yeah, I sadly can't be there. Sadly.
You're not. I'm not. All I'm gonna say is, we need to break that record we had this year against Western Illinois. Then I'll be happy.
80 burger.
I
80 to
want a
nothing.
100 burger.
Give me Grace Burger.
I don't want him to pull Rourke at all. At all.
I think Signetti's gonna make a statement against Purdue.
I think he should.
And if Indiana gets this win and dominates like they should, Indiana has a inside track to the playoff unless shenanigans happen.
Hmm.
Because I don't think we have to deal with many bid stealers. We don't. Um, but just because the only team I think would be a bid stealer would be Texas A&M, probably. But that would be Georgia being a four-loss team.
Yeah.
So Georgia would go behind us probably. It'd be like an 11 or 12 team because
Whatever.
they're
We
not
can
going to
figure it
punish.
out.
Yeah, we can figure it out. All right. That's been it for today. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, share it all platforms. And for my question, should men's basketball get alternate jerseys because I think they should. I personally think they should. Give them something nice for once. They don't need the standard stuff.